Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. It is a done deal. As everyone knows, the news has hit the world. Alexander Isak is a Liverpool player, and it was always going to happen. But for me, it's the impact it now has on the rest of the Premier League, because yesterday we witnessed Arsenal versus Liverpool at Anfield, and it's clear to see now they are the two best teams in the country right now, and they're the two teams that are going to fight for the title. But for Liverpool to get this deal over the line alongside Marc Guehi, it's a game changer. If anything, they are now secured their race as the title favourites, because I still had belief in me, and I never want to see it happen. And I never want to see it happen with Liverpool again, to be honest. But I thought Arsenal had that squad. I thought they had the perfect window, the perfect setup now that they can go and challenge Liverpool for that title, maybe pit them to it, because Liverpool defensively have still looked a bit open. But the signings of Alexander Isak and the signings of Marc Guehi from Crystal Palace absolutely cement Liverpool as favourites, because they've gone out and spent over 400 million now. But it's 400 million plus in the right areas, the areas that they've needed, the areas that transpire that team to take them to the next level and enable them to potentially defend the Premier League title. Because you now look at the window and it's Florian Wirtz, it's Hugo Ekitike, it's Alexander Isak, it's Frimpong, it's Kirkes, and it's Guehi. 6 signings that not only make a big difference to the team, it's 6 signings that instantly start in this team. They've got starters. Because Ekitike and Isak, they can play together. Let's not get it twisted now. I know they're both number 9s. But if they wanted to put one out on the left and put Gakpo on the bench, they can do that. And no one's going to sit there and complain if you're a Liverpool fan seeing that starting 11. So Liverpool have effectively gone out and signed 6 starters. 3 of them in the back 4, 1 in midfield, 2 attackers. And they've needed that. The sad loss of Diogo Jota, the sale of Darwin Núñez, you know, Konate, 1 year left on his deal, Trent going, Robertson on his last legs. It all just makes sense. And let's not even forget Luis Diaz leaving the football club. He's gone to Bayern Munich. So Liverpool getting this Isak deal for me is just wow. We can talk about that one first, because look, the guy is coming in his peak. They're not signing a player that's coming and he's, 30, 31, been there, done it all. No, he's coming with hunger, belief. He wants to win trophies off the back of winning Newcastle a trophy last season. He wants to win that Premier League now. He wants to compete for the highest honours in the Champions League and take on the best clubs, but not only take on the best clubs, he wants to beat the best clubs. So this is why now the title is Isak is free. He's gone from the jailhouse to the mansion, because Liverpool are well-oiled. They're the only team at the moment that have won 3 from 3. They've got a coach that knows the squad. He's a good man manager. He's getting the most out of his players. And now you put the most complete striker into this team, alongside a striker in Ekitike that can come on or rotate with him or play on the left. Liverpool will now look far better than they have done so far in the first 3 games of the season, because I've done a video on it last night and I put sign the champions, because what they've done in their first 3 games of the season, beating Bournemouth like they did in the last few minutes, beating Newcastle in the last second of the game, beating Arsenal in the last 10 minutes of the game. They've won 3 from 3 without playing their best of their ability, without looking that great, without Mohamed Salah, even though he scored 1, but even looking great. He's been poor the first 3 games. Florian Wirtz not looking like he's cutting it yet, but he improved in the second half against Arsenal. Well, you now add someone like Alexander Isak and the quality that him and Guehi can bring. Now, the levels of each player should rise. Liverpool should now look better. Liverpool will now go on a potential run. They've got, Everton in the Merseyside derby, and they've got Burnley away after the international break. And for me, that's 6 from 6. And you look at Isak's stats. This guy is Premier League proven, the most complete striker in the world. 23 goals in 34 games last year. 21 goals in 30 games the season before that. 3 goals out of 6 in the Carabao Cup, which they lifted last year. This guy is the best. There is no better number 9 in football right now. I'm not hearing Erling Haaland. I'm not hearing Gyökeres. I'm not hearing Lewandowski. I'm not hearing Kylian Mbappe. I'm not hearing none of them, because none of them can do everything that Isak can do. Dropping deep, linking up play, The ball carrying and dribbling ability, amazing. The finishing, top quality, good in the air, strong when he needs to be, intelligent, the IQ, when to release it, when to travel, when to make the right pass. We've seen him do what he's done at Newcastle for the last 3 or 4 seasons, and in the last 2 seasons, he's been incredible. We've seen his connection with Jacob Murphy and Anthony Gordon, and the midfield. He's a team player. And for me, Liverpool's best strikers in the last 10 to 15 years have been team players. The perfect example is this, and you've seen me say it before, I'll say it again. Darwin Núñez, they changed their style to fit the Uruguayan striker in. And we all saw it did not work. He's a number 9 that needs to be on the end of things, a bit like a Jamie Vardy, on the shoulder, last man type of attacker. And when it works, it works. But if you're not finishing, what else do you add into the game? And Darwin Núñez, unfortunately, was not doing what Jamie Vardy done for years, and that was finishing your dinner. What Isak brings is what has made Liverpool successful over the last 10 years in terms of that forward line. It's the Luis Suarez. It's the Roberto Firmino. The strikers that do it all. The strikers that facilitate. The strikers that make other players better. The strikers that improve others around them. And a striker that can also do it himself. Firmino could do that. Some marvellous finishes. Some great improvisation at times. Luis Suarez, well, probably one of the best strikers we've seen in the last 20 years. We were honest, if we put him in the top 4, he's probably in there. Because he could do it all. The individual magic. But the dribbling, the IQ, the intelligence, the hunger and the fight to keep going, to keep pushing, that South American mentality. Luis Suarez and Roberto Firmino were kind of like for like, them false 9 strikers that help the team, help others around them, and they're not selfish. And then when they went to Darwin Núñez, he can't really do what they can do. You saw the drop off in Liverpool. You saw them trying to force it. You saw the different games they struggled in, where they said, no, let's revert back to what we know works. And you've now gone out and got the best striker in the world right now. On top of winning your first 3 games, Ekitike started very well. And now you're adding the Swedish hitman to it. For me, Liverpool have to be trying to challenge for the Champions League and the Premier League. I think it's only right. With the firepower they now have, the money they've now spent, it's only right for me to say that, and I'm not wrong. You've won the Premier League last year. You got beat by PSG in the Champions League last year, who were currently the best team in the world. But now, you've transformed that team. You've got new energy. You've got new foundations. I know Trent is going to be a big loss in terms of what he does at Liverpool. But you've got Kirkes now. You've got Frimpong, 2 young, up-and-coming, flying fullbacks with the energy and tenacity, which is really helps Liverpool when they've been successful over the last few years. And now, when you add Marc Guehi to this today on deadline day, after his performance against Aston Villa, that was truly special last night. I can't lie. I watched that game and he had Ollie Watkins tied up. He scored a goal. He was dominant. He was physical. He was quick. He was a captain. He was a leader. And if you've got Konate, who's in doubts about what he's going to do next season and potentially leaving on a free, and you go and sign another player, by the way, that's 25 and coming into his peak, and you get an England full-fledged international who's captain his team to the FA Cup and Community Shield for 40 million. Liverpool, you are a problem. The window you have just done, and people might say they've overspent for some players or whatever it is, we don't care. As a football content creator, I've got to speak it is. I don't care. Because if I support Liverpool, I believe in everything that my football club have done in this window, because it's showing that we want to back the manager, we want to back the ambition of the fans, and we want to remain on top. We want to be the team that's on top now. We want to dominate. We want to be what Man City have been in the last 5-6 seasons. That's what we want to do now. We're not here just to win a league and disappear. We want to win a league and we want to stay. They want to overtake Manchester United's record. They want to become one of the best teams in the world, if not the best team in the world, and try and win that Champions League as well. And I'm not saying that they will do that in their first season, because defensively, I do think they've been a bit, Kirkes, Frimpong, they've both got to adjust to the team. They've both got to provide consistency at the highest level so they can get caught out potentially there. But Guehi and Van Dijk as a partnership together, one's dominant in the air. One's a leader. The other one can be quick, recovery pace, read the game well, also a leader. Guehi and Van Dijk. Van Dijk can now go back on the right-hand side. Guehi can play on the left. He's been comfortable there. He's so good on the ball. He's such a modern day centre back, but that recovery pace and that reading of the game and that composure, them two together now can start trying to match Saliba and Gabriel as two of the best partnerships in the division. And like I said already, they're two of the best teams, which is simple as that. So when you look at what they're doing right now at this football club, Liverpool, there were no excuses for you in this Premier League. You've now got the best striker in the league. You've now potentially got the best centre-back partnership in the league. You've now got the best goalkeeper in the league, because Alisson is. And midfield, yeah, there might be a bit to work on, with Florian Wirtz, Gravenberch, McAllister. Can they do it again? But still, top-class players. They complement each other. It works so well. This Isak deal was just mental, because if you told me 12 months ago that Liverpool would go out and do what they've done in this window, I would have said, no way. And so would your fans. So would you guys watching this video. But everything aligns right now. You can't be upset if you're a Liverpool fan. You have to think the stars are just aligning. The fans want the backing. The fans want to believe. The owners are backing that. The players are showing that. Van Dijk and Salah are signed new deals. Whether they leave next season or whatever, it doesn't matter. They're here now. They want to win now. And that is what I expect Liverpool to do. They are going to be lifting some form of silverware this season. And I think that Guehi signing is underrated, by the way, for the price and the type of player you're getting. And with the Konate situation, you couldn't have really gone out there and said, right, let me get someone who's more ready-made than him. Because he wants to step up now. He wants to be in that World Cup squad. He wants to be a starting centre-back for England. And now he's nailed that, because he's only going to get better. He's going to start at Liverpool with Champions League, Premier League. And he's at one of the best teams in the country. You have to play him. Thomas Tuchel, he signed it off. You're in the team next year at the World Cup. Get ready, barring any injuries. So, wow, this Liverpool transfer window has been immense. But the two signings they've got through the door now in terms of Isak and Guehi, I'm going to say it. They are the two best signings of their window. I think it's clear for me. It's the core. It's down the middle. It's the fundamentals. It's the foundation. Guehi at the back. Alisson, Van Dijk, Guehi, and Isak. Experience, 25, best complete striker in the world. Salah, Gakpo, Wirtz around him. He's going to score 20 plus in the league, or I expect him to get 20 in the league if he does stay fit and gets the regular starts. Wow, Liverpool, you are in dreamland. Now, let's see if they go out on the pitch and deliver. Guys, I hope you've liked this video. I hope you subscribe. Alexander Isak is free, but so is Marc Guehi. And I'll see you on the next video. Bless up.